Hi, Shep Hyken here, excited for another look backstage with another all-access pass to the 50-year history of contemporary productions with Steve Shankman. Steve, lots of venues in St. Louis that you were involved in. You created the Westport Playhouse and other venues, but there's one in particular I want you to talk about, known as one of the top 10 concert venues in the country, and that's the Pageant in St. Louis, Missouri.
Well, the Pageant came around because you're right. We were operating the Westport Theater, which was Tom White. We also had the American Theater, which is owned by the Sella family. And then we were doing our concerts at the other venues in town. But I actually went to Joe Edwards. We had lunch, and I said, Joe, here you are. You got the duck room. It's very small. We already have in St. Louis Hollywood, right? Planet Hollywood. We also have Hard Rock. Sooner or later, House of Blues is coming to St. Louis. If we don't build a theater, and Mississippi Nights was closing, which was down on the Landing, I said, if we don't do something pretty soon, House of Blues is going to be in St. Louis. I said, we should come up with an idea to build a bigger theater, and we can build it here in the Loop. He said, Steve, I've been thinking about that myself. Matter of fact, I've talked to Pat Hagan, who was running downtown, was running the Mississippi Nights on the Landing. Why don't we all get together and have a conversation, which we did. And what came out of that was the Pageant. At one time, my company owned half the Pageant operation. Now Live Nation owns that half. And he always owned the entire property, and he developed the property. Groundbreaking was on April, I think, middle of April 2000, and Chuck Berry's in the picture. I never forget this picture. And Chuck is actually playing the shovel. And then there's Joe and Pat Hagan and myself. And we opened a few months later. It was built by Arco Construction. Quick. I mean, it was just done. And we did a 21, which was my idea, 21 guitars salute. Chuck Berry, Chuck's son, Chuck's grandson, and a bunch of other guitar players out front. And we opened the Pageant. And you're right, it has become one of the most successful theaters, 2,000 seats. Matter of fact, you and I were there to see Sting. I mean, I love going there, and here we're part of the development of it. But the Pageant's been great, and I'm so happy that it's continued on and been so successful.
That's an amazing venue, and thanks to you, we have an amazing venue to go to see great concerts. Hope you enjoyed this backstage story. Come back next week for another all-access look into the history of contemporary productions.